When we bought this car, it cost over $100,000.
But there are some negatives, for sure.
The Tesla Model X. Is it a good vehicle? This is a 2017 Tesla Model X long range, or as they called it back then, 100D. And the great thing about this car is that we bought it brand new, basically with 0 miles, and we've had it for the entire 5 years. When we bought this car in 2017, we were the only people in our entire neighborhood and probably our entire city that owned a Tesla Model X. Nowadays, in 2022, you see Tesla Model X's everywhere. And while the exterior has not really changed, the interior and a lot of the things inside of the Model X have changed. So today we're gonna give you our 5-year review, things we've liked, not liked, what the plans are for the future of this car. Are we gonna sell it, get rid of it, get something new? But we have to also introduce the owner of the car, which is not actually me. It's Leslie. So Leslie, how have you liked having this car over the last 5 years?
I absolutely love this car. I'm in it all the time. Before Lincoln got his license, I would say I was in there probably 4 to 5 hours a day, honestly.
When we got this car, the kids were a lot smaller.
They were so small, and we needed more space though because I do tons of play dates. I want the friends to come over here. I'm always carpooling, so 6 seats was needed.
Pro number 1 of the Tesla involves this little thing, a Tesla key, which not all Teslas currently have. I've got the key up here. I'm gonna put the key in my pocket actually. I'm not touching the key. Boom, look at that. Door open, still hands up, stay back so they know that I'm not touching anything. Watch this. Still not touching. I just put my foot on the brake and bye. Isn't that cool? Opening and shutting doors just by pushing the buttons. I can open up even these doors. I can open up the trunk. I can open up the passenger door. So right now, all of the doors are open. And if you are a mom, like this mom, driving your kids to school and they jump out of the car, you can take this key fob, push the button once on top, and everything closes at the same time.
It's one of my absolute favorite things. I know it seems super silly, but I love it. I never have to touch the door. When we first got the car, the kids were super embarrassed of the Falcon Wing doors going up, and now they've gotten used to it and they're not as embarrassed. But before, Lincoln would literally just open it like this much, try to sneak his way out without having to open it because he was embarrassed.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be too fancy sometimes, so I get that. It takes a little getting used to having a door that looks like it's from the future, but there's enough of these around that it's not as unusual as it used to be when we got this in 2017. Pro number 2 for the Tesla Model X, which again is something that none of the other Teslas have. I guess technically the Tesla Model Y could have it, but it's really not good in the Tesla Model Y. Okay, let me just tell you what it is. The seats. Right now, we have 6 seats inside of this car. You can get up to 7. You can get 3 seats in the middle and then have the 2 in the back. But they're not just 6 seats. They're actually comfortable seats. Whether you're sitting in the very back, the middle, or the front, you are comfortable. For the Tesla Model Y does have a 7-seater, but you're really not gonna be fitting people in the very, very back. It'd be extremely uncomfortable. No, certain ones do, but we don't have one of those because it just doesn't make sense. These 2 seats in the middle are actually movable. You can just push a button and they can go forward and back. One downside to having the 6-seat configuration versus the 7-seat configuration is that in the Tesla Model S, I have a bed that I can put inside of there and sleep if I'm on road trips. And this one you can't do that because these 2 middle seats, I think it was like $7,000 extra to get these. They will not fold down all the way, so you can't like lay down, or if you're transporting like big things like plywood, I don't know why you would in this car, but if you were, you wouldn't have room for that because you can't lay those seats down. But the 6 seats, have they been good for you in carpooling?
I use them all the time. I had a carpool for 2 years that used every single seat.
You've used our Tesla Model S for carpool. How have you liked it for that?
It's not as convenient, especially because one of the kids had a cello. And so I actually couldn't take that car sometimes.
Forgot about the cello.
The cello on Fridays.
If you're carpooling somebody with a cello, you got to get the Tesla Model X.
Best instrument though.
And now we need to talk about some of the cons, which there are quite a few cons with the Tesla Model X, especially the 2017. First one that I'll mention that is kind of a smaller one, but it has definitely been fixed in the newer Model X's that you get right now, is the screen setup that we have is okay. It's better now in the Tesla Model X refresh, but the screen has yellowing that goes all the way around the borders. And we've talked to them for years about this, and it's a common issue in the older S's and the older X's. Supposedly they came up with some sort of fix that takes like 4 or 5 days for them to do it, where they do something with the screen and there's a chance that it comes back. So the yellowing, and it kind of moves. Like it started on the edge and then it's slowly moving in, and it like looks dirty. It looks like we don't take care of our car, which we do take good care of our car pretty much, I would say. And so the screen just looks kind of weird and yellow. Like, who wants a yellow screen? When we bought this car, it cost over $100,000. And you don't even see this type of yellowing in an iPad, and you're seeing it in a car that is that expensive. Tesla in a lot of ways is considered to be a tech company instead of a car company. And if you really are a tech company, why are your screens yellow? Is there not a fix for it? Now in the future, they don't do that. But if you get one of the older vehicles, get ready to have that, because I've heard it's very, very common in the older S and X. One huge con with this car that I really, really struggle with, that's been the toughest of any of the Teslas that I've owned, is the range and the range anxiety. And I don't just mean that the car doesn't have that much range. When we first got it, I think it had around 300 miles range, was like the top end, highest end. Now, when you charge it full, it gets about 260 miles range. But when we go on a road trip, those numbers are so inaccurate. They're so bad. I mean, we have almost 90,000 miles on this car, and I would say around 20,000 of that are on road trips, because we live in a place where we take tons of road trips. I don't know if it's something with the larger wheels that we have on this car, but the algorithm inside of the car has never done a good job of calculating the proper distance of what it'll take to get from point A to point B. So right now from where I live, it's 121 miles away from Las Vegas, Nevada, which would take 2 hours and 33 minutes. And it says I'll have 25% battery remaining. So the car's telling me that I should have 65 miles range when I arrive in Las Vegas. But I did this drive yesterday, and when I got to Las Vegas, the destination that I put in here, I only had 4 miles range left. 4 miles, like 1% battery left. It almost died on the way there, and that's the way it is with every single trip. Now, some of you might say, well, you just drive really fast, and that's just a product of that. But we have this Tesla Model Y, and we also have a long-range Tesla Model S. Each one of those cars is incredibly accurate, and how much time it says you're gonna charge at the different superchargers. If you're considering getting an older Tesla Model X, there's a good chance that road trips are gonna be a pain in the butt. We try not to drive this on road trips. We take the Model Y or the Model S as much as possible. And when we do have to take this one, it's not very fun. My next thing that I don't like about this car that the latest Model X's have, I don't like this silver. And there used to be silver right here, and right here, this is silver right here, but this one on this side is not silver, it's black. We paid extra, and it was actually the video where we unveiled this car. We went to Lux Auto Spa, and we got this car chrome deleted, which it does cost quite a bit of money in order to do that, but it looks so much better on the Teslas. Now every Tesla coming off the line is already chrome deleted, which, good job Tesla for noticing that that needed to change. We got in an accident 2 years ago with this car, and somebody ran into the side and we had to replace this door. Well, a couple of other things that they had to replace was this right here that used to be chrome deleted, and now it's just silver. Also, at one point this camera broke, and so they put a new one on and it's not chrome deleted. Leslie's been driving around for about 2 years with everything chrome delete, except for this one door and that right there. That's just a small con. Let's get to some more of the pros of this car. This windshield, I love the windshield. It's ginormous, it's like a spaceship. It starts way down here and it goes all the way up to right here on the top of the car. So it has tint on it that goes all the way up. And the time that I like it the most is when you're driving through somewhere really, really scenic, like a canyon or a national park, or there's a giant rainstorm and something that's really cool to see. You can just sit back and like look at it all over. Now, I worried that it was gonna be too hot, but this tint on here that covers most of it is so strong that the UV rays don't hit you as much. So I love this. In fact, when I drive in a Model 3, the Model Y, or the Model S, actually, it sounds really weird, I feel a little claustrophobic because I'm used to driving in the Model X and it's just so beautiful and so wide open. And the next pro that I love about this Tesla Model X that you don't get with the current cars, including the Model Y or the Model S or the Model X, any car that you buy in 2022, you don't get this, but yet this car has it. It has to do with this camera that is right up here. Yes, that's a camera. These are the wires that go to it. Since the windshield's so big, you actually see them. The Teslas that are made now use cameras all around and don't use radar anymore or LiDAR. But this Tesla has a radar that's built into that. Well, when you were driving driving in Utah. The speed limit is 80 miles an hour on the highway. What that means is that people typically go about 10 miles an hour above the speed limit. I'm not telling you to do that, I'm just telling you what people do. So I would say about 88 miles an hour when we're driving on these long road trips through Utah is kind of the speed that everybody goes. Well, because this car has this radar built into it, Tesla limits the top speed that you can go on autopilot to 90 miles an hour. So I'm typically at 88 or 90 miles an hour. I put it on autopilot and I just let it cruise down the freeway on these 4 or 5 hour drives. Well, the Tesla Model Y and all of the newer cars just have the cameras, and those have been limited to 80 miles an hour. They just recently opened it up because people were complaining. They recently opened it up to 85 miles an hour. So it's only a difference of 5 miles an hour, but believe me, when you're on these road trips, that makes a big difference. So when I drive in Lincoln's car, it's actually kind of annoying because one of the biggest benefits of having a Tesla that goes on road trips is putting it on self-driving or autopilot so it stays in the lane, it keeps up with the cars, and it just drives. But when you're limited to 80 miles an hour or 85 miles an hour, it's just a little bit of a hassle that we have here in Utah where the speed limit is higher than most places in America. So huge thumbs up to the Tesla Model X on road trips with the autopilot at 90 miles an hour. And the Tesla Model X has the dancing show, which we've shown you before, but the Tesla Model X, because the doors open and shut by themselves, it has the Christmas dancing show that is the greatest. Park outside, roll down your windows, and enjoy the show. Start the show. Then when you push it, it's like, this will start after you exit. Happy holidays. Now this you guys all recognize as a Tesla supercharger. The version 3 superchargers can charge up to 250 kilowatts, where the version 2 can charge to 150. Yesterday, I was at a supercharger in Mesquite, Nevada, charging this car. I was basically empty, but it was at a 250 kilowatt version 3 supercharger. You'd think this would go pretty quick. The highest I could get it to was 80 kilowatts. It took 30 minutes to get enough range to be able to drive another 50 miles. So that is definitely a con with the older vehicles. Usually their limit is 150 kilowatts is the max highest speed they can go. But even then, when it's the older batteries, I don't know if it's Tesla that limits the software or what, but these charge slower. They just do. It takes longer when you get to the superchargers in order to fill it up, which is a bit of a hassle. Where Lincoln's Tesla Model Y, you plug it in, it gets up to 250 right away, and then it trickles down. But in 10 minutes, you get so much more range than what you do inside of this. So just know that if you buy an older Tesla, it's not going to charge as fast. And so the road trips are a little bit more of a hassle than anything you can buy new. And maybe for you, the price difference in what this older car cost versus a newer one is worth a little bit of a hassle, and that's great for you. I'm just letting you know you're going to deal with some of these issues. So now the ultimate question, it's been 5 years, 2017 Model X. Well, there's a couple ultimate questions here. I guess it doesn't mean it's ultimate. Leslie, one, how do you like the car? Good?
I would give it like a 10 out of 10 other than the range issue.
Yeah, so you're glad that you've had this car for 5 years.
100%.
Are you going to be selling this car and getting a different car?
No, I'm not selling the car right now, but if I were to sell it, I probably would want to get a Model Y because the range is better and it's way less expensive.
I can see that, yes. It's like $30,000 to $50,000 difference between the Y and the X. And I guess the other thing, and the other reason that you're not saying is that we have a Model Y because our son now drives. And when we had 3 kids and 2 adults, there was no other Tesla that was comfortable for road trips with the kids because they're sitting right next to each other and they push each other and it's annoying.
They just don't like it, yeah.
And then the carpool situation. So there you go, 5-year review of the Tesla Model X. This has been Leslie's car. She's loved it, she's enjoyed it. I've really liked it. We've made a lot of videos with it. 90,000 miles. Let's see if we can hit 200,000 before we sell this car.
Whoa, that's a lot. I don't know. We can try.
Thanks, Zach Jerry Rig, for sponsoring this video. Ooh.